Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Art.
And I'm Daniel.
And you're watching Step 1. Alright everyone, welcome back. We're going to kick things off today with a little bit of phone freaking, and I'll let Daniel tell you more about that.
Yeah, what we're doing today is some busy boxing, which I personally think is pretty cool, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Today I'm going to show you another box. This time it's a busy box. Basically what it does is when someone tries to call in on the line that you've implemented the busy box on, they get a busy signal. When someone picks up the phone from that line, they don't get a dial tone. There's actually 3 different designs I'm going to be showing you today, but I'm just going to go ahead and kick it off with the simplest one, which is basically you just need a piece of wire. We're just going to use Ethernet wire because we had it laying around. Alligator clips, screwdriver, hexagonal screwdriver, needle nose pliers, and wire cutters. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and just take all the wires out of the Ethernet cable. You can go ahead and just throw away most of them. All you really need is one. Okay, so after you've got the wires untwisted, take the wire you're going to use and strip about a 1/2 inch off the end, off both ends. Once you got that done, loosen up the screws on your alligator clips, and then just go ahead and attach the wires to the alligator clips. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to hook these up at the box, and we'll come back and I'll show you the second box design. Alright, now we're going to hook it up at the box. Just take the alligator clips and put one on each terminal. That should short out the phone connection, and they lose phone service. It's as simple as that. Alright, now for the second box design. This is more of the classic box design using the 9-volt battery. The first thing we're going to do is cut the end off of just a normal phone cord. Then we're going to take the razor blade and cut off the outside insulation. Now we're going to strip the insulation off of the individual wires. Alright, now that we've got them stripped, we're going to hook them up to our alligator clips. Alright, now we're just going to clip the extra insulation off the end of our phone cord and hook the alligator clips up to the positive and negative terminals of a 9-volt battery. Alright, let's go test it out. Basically what this is going to do is send 9 volts over the phone line and tell it that the phone's off the hook. Alright, now that you got the box made, it's just as easy as plugging it into the wall. It puts 9 volts through the phone line and basically says the phone's off the hook, so you lose the dial tone. And the third one, we found this one is the easiest one to build. Basically what it does is just shorts out the line from the inside. So the first thing you're going to do is just get a normal phone cord and just clip it about 2 or 3 inches in from the plug. Then you're just going to take your razor blade, cut off some of the outside insulation. This one's actually kind of fun. You go to your friend's house or something, bring it in your pocket, plug it in when you get there, you can unplug it when you leave. Then you go ahead and just clip off the excess. Then just grab a splice, and for this one it's really easy. You don't even have to expose the wire, you just stick it right in there. Make sure you get it all the way in or it won't make the connection. Clamp down on the splice, and you're done. You just plug this into the jack and it should short out the line. So now we're going to go try this one out. This one you just take it out of your pocket, go over to maybe your co-host's house, plug it into the wall, walk off, Come back when you think the joke isn't funny anymore.
So pretty much what you're saying is with this, I could just, let's say, head over to your house, plug this into the wall, and it would knock out your phone system, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We'll go on to that for a second. But right now we're going to go over to Mark's segment.
Can I
programs
can I get that?
No. Now we're going to go over to Mark with programs that cost less than a penny.
Now it's time for programs that cost less than a penny. This week we're showing you AVG. AVG is a free virus scan utility. Now I know what you're thinking, I already have McAfee, I already have Norton. Well, think of it this way. You're spending $50 a year on those, where this one's completely free. So let's say if you have your computer for 5 years, you're saving $250 by not getting McAfee or Norton. Now there are two versions of this program. There's the Professional Edition or the Home Edition. The Home Edition is completely free. Now if you run an organization like a church or if you have a big business or anything like that, you need to get the Professional Edition. Otherwise, you're breaking copyrights and stuff like that. Now, pretty much you can just get AVG from their website. We'll have the links to the free version in our show notes. Once you open it up, it's going to be just like any other install. Now, pretty much it's like, welcome, this is the free edition, blah, 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 blah. You can just skip right past most of these. Now, alright, this is where it goes into detail about who can use the free version. Pretty much for home use, it's fine, but if you're using it for, like, let's say a business or government use or anything like that, they ask you to actually buy the Professional Edition. Now, alright, pretty much now we have the option of either standard or custom install. Just for time purposes, we're just going to go with standard. Alright, and now it's going to ask for the username of who's going to be using it, and of course the license number. The license number is going to be tagged onto the EXE. You don't have to worry about entering any of that in. It's going to already be embedded into the program. Now let me go into a little bit of detail why this installs. Now, compared to Norton or McAfee where you have to buy it every year, this one is free forever, or until they stop doing updates. Well, it looks like it's already done installing. Let's go ahead and finish this up. Press OK. Go ahead and open it up. And now it's going to go ahead and run through just a regular configuration and then scan your computer. It says, congratulations, you have successfully installed the program. Now, first thing you want to do is run the update. It pops up, says, and you just want to click check for update. You want to check over the internet, unless you're unless you have like a slower connection, you downloaded it somewhere else, and then you have it on like a, let's say, a jump drive or anything like that. You can just plug it in and you can have it search to that folder. Now the update is somewhere around 1.3 megs. The entire program is only about 15 megs, so it's a much smaller program. So it's not going to take up as much, let's say, system resources and stuff like that the Norton and the McAfee are. Successfully updated. Alright, now you do have the option to create a rescue disk. That's in case, let's say, when you're removing a file, some of your registry stuff gets damaged, anything like that. Just because I have run this on this computer before, I'm not going to worry about creating one. If you're really scared about doing that and you don't know how to format your computer if it does crash, I would say go ahead and create a rescue disk. The email scanner is also another option. That's actually a pretty good thing because all the viruses that are going around right now pretty much just tag themselves onto your computer and then pretty much send it to all the ones in your inbox. Would you like to scan your computer now? We would. Now it's pretty much just going to run through the entire scan. This can take a pretty good amount of time. I'm pretty much going to let this finish up on this computer. Now, this pretty much wraps it up for programs that cost less than a penny. But if you want to see, let's say, a program that you use, just mention it in our forums. There's been a few people that have posted a pretty good amount of things in our forums. So if you want to have your program maybe mentioned in there, send us a line at www.step1pro.com/forums.
Wow, I didn't think about how much money you'd spend if you actually buy software.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But we're actually going to take this opportunity to introduce a new member of the cast, Jason.
Yeah, he's going to be doing a segment on Wi-Fi network security.
Alright, so let's check it out.
Today we're going to be showing you how to set up a secure home wireless network.
The basic idea is not to make a crack-proof network because that's pretty close to impossible. The idea is to just make it hard for the casual war driver to get into your network, so he'll want to go to someone else's network that's available. So let's dive in, and what's the first thing that we're going to do?
Alright, the first thing we want to do is change the SSID.
Because like default on the Netgear, like in this case it's a Netgear router, so the default SSID is going to be Netgear, and that's just pretty easy to guess.
The next thing we're going to want to do is implement 128-bit encryption. There's two ways you can do this. You can enter a passphrase and generate the keys, or you can make them yourselves. In this case, we're just going to have the router generate them. Okay. While the encryption isn't completely secure, and it's actually very easily crackable, it still deters the casual hacker enough to move on to the next unsecure wireless network.
Yeah, because if I'm sitting out in front of your house and I see that I'm going to have to run like air snort and sit there for a couple of days and try and get enough interesting packets, I'd rather just go next door where they don't have a web encryption at all, so I can just log right on.
Next thing we're going to want to do is disable the SSID broadcasting. This will make it so anybody scanning for available wireless networks won't be able to see yours. After that, we're going to want to do some MAC address filtering. Each network card has its own individual MAC address, and this sets the router so that it only allows specific MAC addresses.
So that way, even if someone does sit there and crack your web encryption, they probably won't be able to log on because they're not going to have the right MAC address, and the router's just going to say no. Alright, so we just added Jason's MAC address, so right now he's the only one that's able to send and receive packets to the router, to and from the router. If you're setting this up at home, make sure you add all your computers or the internet just won't work on them.
You can add them anytime, so if a friend comes over, it's not that hard to do. Well, it makes it a lot more secure, having MAC address filtering. People can still pick up on the file transfer between your computer and the router and obtain your MAC address and change theirs to yours and access your wireless internet.
But like we said, this isn't 100% foolproof, it's just there to deter someone from
Correct.
cracking into your specific network.
Okay. Now the next thing we're going to want to do is set a password on to the router.
In the case of this Netgear router, the default password is nothing, and that's not a very good idea because someone could just log on in, basically. And a lot of passwords, or a lot of routers like Linksys, it's admin. Change it to something intelligent and kind of hard to guess.
Yeah, it's always best to have a combination of numbers and letters in your password, and make sure that it's at least 8 characters long.
Alright, and if you're going to be using like online banking, make sure you don't use like BFE Citibank. Make sure you use a bank that has SSL, and that pretty much wraps it up, so we'll see you next time.
I didn't realize it was that simple just to secure your own home wireless network.
Yeah, like I said before, it's pretty easy. I mean, if someone really wants to crack your network, they can still get through, but if someone's just out war driving, they're definitely just going to pass yours up, go to your neighbors.
Alright, that's pretty cool.
So we actually have a segment coming up with you. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's actually more for the beginner Linux users. Enough of me explaining it. Check it out. For those of you out there using Red Hat or Fedora Core, I'm going to show you how to boot into the TETS interface. That way, if you need to install your graphical drivers or if you're having a problem with the ET system, you can make some changes there. First thing you want to do is boot up your computer. This time we're just going to show you how to boot into the TETS interface. The next time we're going to show you how to install the video drivers. First thing to do is press escape when you're at the grub menu. That way the countdown stops. Press A. That way you can set some certain perimeters, stuff like that. And then you want to press space, then 3. And when you press enter, it's going to log you into the TETS interface. Now if you're not using Fedora, let me boot into 5 and I'll show you how to do it. Logging in under run level 3 is going to be a TETS interface. That makes it so, let's say if you're doing any kind of installing drivers, when you're installing things, sometimes you have to be in the TETS interface and you can't run it from the terminal because when you're installing graphical drivers, you have to have all OpenGL things closed. And that includes the ET system. First thing you want to do is log in under a root. you can't log in under your normal user just because the file that you have to edit in order to boot into test mode is a read-only file. Once you logged in, first thing you want to do is open up the hard drive. From there you want to go to etc. It's the name of the folder, and then in here there's a file called initab, I-N-I-T tab. First thing you want to do is also make a copy of the initab file. The reason why you want to make a copy is if for whatever reason you make some sort of mistake and you mess something up, you can just rename that one over and then you shouldn't have any problem. Alright, you want to open up the initab file and then you scroll about halfway down and you'll see it says ID:5. You want to change that to 3. Run level 3 is a text-based interface, as opposed to run level 5, which is your Windows ET system. What you want to do is change it to run level 3, save it, and now when you reboot your computer, it's going to run in the text interface. That pretty much shows you how to change your run level. Now, next time we're going to show you how to install your NVIDIA drivers on your card, so make sure you stay tuned. Alright, you can look forward to having a Linux segment at the first of every month. We're definitely going to be posting on the website when we're going to have what segment we're at, which kind of brings us to our next topic.
Yeah, be checking the website in the next month. We're going to make some big changes. Basically, we're going to make what content's going to be on the next episode more available, and also our progress on that episode.
Alright, but to keep things going, let's go ahead and pass it over to Aaron that's going to show you a Windows tip.
What I'm about to show you is something called Selective Start-up. It's actually something that the Windows site shows you step by step, and it's something we caught on Dig a couple months ago. And what it does is it eliminates a lot of the programs that start up while Windows is booting, which also eliminates a lot of the spyware that's set to start up. How you get to this is you go Start, Run, and then you're going to want to run msconfig. Then you go down to Selective Start-up, and you're going to want to unclick Process System, Any File, and Process Win Any Files. Then you're going to want to go over to Services, and you're going to want to click Hide All Microsoft Services. This keeps you from disabling any of the Microsoft startup tools, which can actually stop Windows from starting up. So you're going to click Disable All, and then you're going to go over to Startup, which is all the other programs like spyware and other programs that you have installed that are set to start up, and you're going to click Disable All. After that, you just go to Apply, and then Close. Then you're going to want to restart your computer in order to have all these settings take effect. This is something that all of us at Step1 Pro use, and actually a lot of other people use it, and it's something we would definitely recommend for your home PC or your office PC. That kind of wraps it up for the Selective Startup.
It's crazy how much of a difference using Selective Startup really makes on the performance of your computer.
Yeah, it is. But now over to us all the way across the room for a little discussion on SQL injections.
Alright.
Alright, today I'm going to talk about SQL injections.
What exactly is SQL for maybe the people that missed episode 1?
Alright, SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and basically it's a language that was created so you could communicate with your database and...
Alright, so it's like used to log on, or is it just to store information, like if it's like a website that you order things from?
Yeah, you'd use it to store users' information and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, an SQL injection, does that let you log in as just a guest, or does that let you in as an actual user?
See, in the PHP script, it actually logs into the database as, well, most of the time the administrator, so it can make changes to it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So with an SQL injection, you're basically hijacking that PHP or ASP or whatever script. And you basically take over that line of code.
I see. Now, is there anything, what stops it from being vulnerable to this SQL injection?
The easiest thing to do is just turn on magic quotes.
Mm-hmm. Now, what exactly is magic quotes?
Magic quotes takes all the things like apostrophes, parentheses, double quotes, and it escapes them. It puts an escape character in front of them, so rather than a command, it just is a user-submitted string.
I see. So like when you use a website like Google or anything like that, there's really already magic quotes there, and then when you search something, it kind of like, if you use quotes of your own, it would drop theirs.
Yeah, Google has something set up to do a special thing with whatever quotes you put in. It has a special function for that.
Alright. Now, is there any way that, let's say, any of the users out there that use websites, like banking websites, stuff like that, any way that they could test a website to see if there's this vulnerability, so they wouldn't use that for their banking?
Yeah, definitely. The easiest thing to do would be just go into the login page, put an apostrophe, put a double quote or parentheses, something like that, And if it comes, and just click log in or submit or whatever, and if it comes up with a database error message, then you know that site's vulnerable and you should go ahead and pass it up.
Alright, I see. So that pretty much covers anything as far as SQL injections that, I mean, just the end user should know about. Just pretty much just test it out. I mean, use that, like you were saying, a parenthesis, right, or apostrophe?
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot more things people can do to do an SQL injection, but that'll keep the script kiddies out.
Alright, I see. I guess that pretty much wraps it up for PHP. Was there any like codes or any websites that you wanted to mention that are good information if someone wanted to look into more with PHP?
Yeah, php.net is a great website. I was actually going to talk a little bit about an easy attack using an SQL injection.
What kind of attack? Just regular?
Yeah, it basically will just log you on as a random user. What you do is you go to the logon and you type an apostrophe, and that basically ends the command. And
now, does this work with either Internet Explorer or Netscape or
it doesn't matter.
Oh, so it's universal.
It's the interpreter on the web server is going to be the one taking in the code.
So it's not even on your side.
No, it's not. And what's going to happen is the string probably looks like select password from user table where username equals whatever. So what's going to happen is instead of password, you're going to put in a value that's always true. So you're going to put in X apostrophe or 1 equals 1. So that just says if the password is X or if 1 equals 1, log the user in.
Oh, so I mean, no matter what, it pretty much lets you in. It forces.
It'll basically just grab the first user from the top of the table.
I see. And I mean, any website is really vulnerable to this if they don't do the magic quotes, right?
Yeah, and there's other things you can do like check for irregular characters, stuff like that. But magic quotes is just the basic one that should pretty much stop all the script kiddies that are going to go to the tutorials and just copy paste the SQL injections.
I see. Well, I guess that pretty much wraps everything.
Yeah,
up,
that pretty much wraps it up.
All right. So I guess this is going to kind of be like a usual security thing. So make sure you stay tuned every 2 weeks, and we'll definitely give you a security tip.
Yeah, stay tuned. Everyone, I obviously wasn't able to cover everything about SQL injections, but what I didn't cover should be in the show notes, so go ahead and check those out. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say thanks for everyone who's seeding our torrents.
Definitely. And another thing is everyone that's in our forums posting ideas, stuff like that, we definitely appreciate it. And if you have any ideas, post them there. We're going to get to those as soon as we can, which will probably be sometime in February, after the New Year's, of course. And also we want to also mention that Danny wasn't in this episode because he's out deployed in Germany, so you're not going to have a case mod segment for a little bit. But we're definitely going to get back to those as soon as possible. And I hope you enjoyed episode 3. See you on the 15th for the 4th.
See ya.
Kind of makes you think.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go over to Mark with a program that costs less than a penny.
Sorry, there's a squirrel behind you guys.
Yeah, because you're retarded. You're.
Harold,
we're being extreme!
That was so extreme! Yeah, let's get some Mountain Dew! Today I'm talking about the Internet Explorer 6.
It's a great browser.
It's good. I like it. Better than Firefox.
It never has problems. I've never had a crash, to be honest with you.
I like Internet Explorer 6 because I like to live on the edge.
And I love ActiveX.
Alright.
Alright, keep going.
Today I'm talking to...
Damn dog.
Today I'm talking about how you kill a dog over a fence.
If you go for break.
The dog, the wind, Mother Nature hates us. Alright.
What does nature have to do with the dog?
Shut up. Today
How are you messing up there? Are you mad?
Because I'm just getting frustrated, sorry.
You want a cold axe tea?
Shut up, you're not helping.
Sorry.
Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Internet Explorer 6 embedded object cross-site scripting vulnerability.
What you're going to want to do is go into Start, Run msconfig. When you go into Services, you really want to uncheck all these Microsoft Corporation ones because I found it uses a lot of your CPU processing speed, especially the Explorer.exe. That seems to use an awful lot of processing. So go ahead and shut that off next time you want to reset your Selective Startup.